Have you ever realized the people who should love you the most are the ones using you, and you're the only one paying the price? That was my reality, and it forced me to make the hardest decision of my life. I was 26 when it all collapsed. The cracks had been there my whole life, tiny fractures in my family bond. But that night at my mother's birthday dinner, everything shattered. We sat around the same table we'd shared for years. My father, stern as ever. My sister Bella, glowing under his praise as always. And me, the one they never quite valued, no matter how hard I worked or how independent I was. The evening seemed normal until Bella casually said, "I'm thinking of getting a new car. Something cute, maybe a convertible." My father's face lit up. "You deserve it, princess." Then he turned to me. "Ethan, you could help her out with this, right?" I froze, wine glass halfway to my lips. I already paid half her rent every month, something nobody ever acknowledged. "I already support Bella financially," I said evenly. "I'm not buying her a car." The room went cold. My father's voice dropped into that dangerous tone I'd known all my life. "It's just a little help. After everything we've done for you." Something inside me snapped. "Done for me? Dad, I paid for my own college. I bought my own car. I've been independent since 19. His face twisted with rage. "Because she's better than you. She always has been." The words hung in the air like poison. My mother gasped. Bella looked down. And me? I felt something I'd never felt before. Relief. I pushed back my chair. If she's better than me, then she doesn't need my help anymore. I'm done paying her rent too. My father stood, pointing at the door. "Get out." I grabbed my jacket. "Steady now." "Gladly." "And Dad, maybe you should tell Bella, who's really been covering her rent for the last 2 years." Bella's eyes went wide. Dad said, "Dad lied." I cut in, and I walked away. That night marked the end, or maybe the beginning of my freedom. The fallout was immediate. Bella couldn't afford her rent without me. My father refused to step in, his finances weaker than anyone knew. Then came the discovery that turned my stomach cold. My father had forged my signature on a loan, using my fully paid-off car as collateral. The bank gave me 3 options: pay the loan, press charges against my own father, or lose the car. I chose a fourth. I sold the car myself, paid off the debt, and bought a cheaper one. Another tie severed. When my father found out, he raged. "You ruined everything. Don't you care what this does to the family?" But his family wasn't mine anymore. His problems weren't mine either. Then came the final betrayal. I discovered he'd been draining the family savings account, the one I'd contributed to since I was 16, to fund Bella's lifestyle and his failing business. I withdrew every last dollar, $7,853, and closed it for good. 2 days later, I came home to find my apartment door cracked open. My TV, laptop, even my grandfather's watch gone. The police traced it all to a pawn shop. My father had stolen from me again. That was it. I filed a report, hired a lawyer, and confronted him with proof. Faced with charges, he repaid every cent. And then I cut all ties. No more calls. No more manipulation. No more guilt. At first, the silence was brutal. Holidays felt hollow. Birthdays came and went without a word. Some nights I questioned myself. Was I cruel? Overreacting? Should I fix it? But then I'd remember the forged documents, the theft, the years of being treated like a wallet, not a son. And I knew no contact was the only way to survive. Over time, silence turned into healing. I built a life filled with people who valued me for who I was, not what I could provide. 3 years later, I saw my mother in the grocery store. She looked older, worn down. She told me my father had nearly died from a heart attack. For a moment, guilt stirred, but then she surprised me. "I should have protected you," she whispered, tears in her eyes. "I understand why you left." It wasn't forgiveness, but it was acknowledgement. And somehow, that mattered. The truth is, going no contact isn't a single decision. It's thousands of tiny ones. Every ignored call, every unanswered message, every time you choose peace over guilt. And eventually, those choices build a new life. My father always called Bella the golden child. But gold bends under pressure. Me? I was forged into something stronger. Like carbon into diamond. Blood isn't always thicker than water. Self-respect, is thicker than both. And if you're trapped in a family that drains you instead of supports you, know this, there is life on the other side. It's not easy, it's not tidy, but it is possible, and it is worth it. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away. And if my story hit home for you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear that choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's survival.